181 podcast as she conducted an amateur investigation into the 2011 death of a 20-year-old Jaliyah Davis of Marietta, Ohio. Davis was found dead a handful of miles from home on Interstate near Parkersburg, West Virginia. Her body was beside her crashed car, and she had been decapitated. Authorities concluded she had been ejected from the car when it crashed, but her mother and other relatives and members of the close-knit Appalachian community thought there had been foul play. Intern Nestor from Parkersburg, who had no prior experience as a detective or podcaster, but who was just struck by some of the mystery surrounding the case. Basically, the family gave her the entire case file, and she went on to this. Long story short, she was wrong. It ended up being exactly what law enforcement had stated it was, and because of that, her audience felt absolutely deceived and manipulated and dropped her like a hot potato. And it hurt her. I've seen other podcasts push false narratives, but they don't realize how dangerous they are. That's why we refuse to push false narratives here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. There are rare citizen investigators who really uncover something of value or break in a case, but they're the exception to the rule. And you know what those exceptions are to the rule? The people that actually go out to find. You are never going to find something unless you are looking for it. You are never going to find a human being unless you are physically on the ground searching for a human being. You're not going to find a kid drown in a lake from your home in, Florida, right? You have to be out in the area to find anything of value. And if you are a commentator, that's one thing. I am not. I get out there. I search. I like to look. I like to find. I like the hunt. I like being out there and active and feeling like I'm making a difference personally. Nestor left for New Orleans, where she worked as a dancer, because the hostility in her hometown, and now misses it deeply. She turned back on true crime. Nestor's Instagram account now describes her as a true crime pariah. Nestor regrets that 3 people who were with Davis not long before she killed became the object of public suspicion because of her podcast and the attention it received. These podcasts are born out of trauma and tragedy, she added, but we're adding more trauma to the mix without looking at the ethics of this, like crime with cocktails, coffee with murder. It's okay to have morbid curiosity about this stuff, but innocent people can be caught up in the mix and made to look like criminals, right? Remember everybody pointing the finger at Jack D, Jake S. Nobody ever stepping back to get the real facts of the case before they try to destroy these young, impressionable 20-somethings' lives. You know who didn't do that? Chronicles of Olivia and Bullhorn Betty. That's who didn't do that. You know what else? We went on the offensive for these kids. And you know what else? Everybody still never denounced the garbage channels they were watching that were lying to their faces. They're still with them because they're idiots. Let's be honest, they're idiots. Who would stay with a channel that intentionally deceives you for clicks and views? So far, this channel has been spot on with almost every case we have investigated and touched. Almost spot on with every single one that we have investigated and touched. We were called liars in the Gabby Petito case. Liars. Shame on us for being out there and putting the Laundrie family through that. And now the tables have turned, and everything that we said out there has come full circle, and we were spot on. Meanwhile, these other channels that were lying to their audience and continue to lie to their audience, keep maintaining these yahoos. They keep subscribing and going and watching their bull crap content. Do you know how many times people have come to my channel to try to embarrass me and say, oh, you should be following the case because you got this wrong? And I'm like, clearly you're not following the case because you just made yourself look like a fool. You just made yourself look like an idiot in front of thousands of people. And then they want to double down, right? They want to double down and say, oh, yeah, it's only 49 people. Well, that's a like. Oh, well, you're so dense. Well, there goes the insults. When you're proven wrong and you're shown to be an idiot, there goes the insults. Congratulations. When you can't win me in a debate, you go straight to the insults. Straight to the insults. More than one potential suitor, she learned, was either married or with a criminal record. So this talks about a new web sleuth that started doing background checks for her. I started doing background checks for my own safety and found out I was good at it. Nicholson told the Post. I did it for a girlfriend, then for myself, expanding into true crime in September 2021. Nicholson started the original Murdaugh in the Low Country Facebook group 3 months after the sensational murders of Maggie Paul and Paul Murdaugh in Colton County, South Carolina in June 2022. Maggie's husband, Alex Murdaugh, was eventually tried for the double homicide of his wife and son and found guilty last March. He is currently serving 2 life sentences in prison. Nicholson said she was proud of the information uncovered by her in another podcast involving the death of Stephen Smith, a young gay man found dead in the road near the Murdaugh home in 2015. Nicholson said, in the middle of all the middle school drama caused by competing sleuths and social media group may have confused the public, but believes the member of her Facebook group were effective in unraveling aspects of the tangled Murdaugh case. There is the truth. It comes to, it's not tragedy pimps that are causing these problems. You know what it is? It's competing. It's the competing social media influencers on here, right? The ones that act like they talk about true crime, but all they're doing is beating up other people, right? Because they want their click in the view. Let's talk about Gannon Stout and the autopsy, right? Everybody and their mother wanted that title, that clickbait title, right? They wanted that clickbait. What's more important? If you really didn't want that autopsy to be known or to be published or broadcasted, why is everybody and their mother that denounces the autopsy out here talking about the autopsy, bringing more attention to that? If they are so disgusted by the idea that somebody showed it, you're going to now embrace it and promote it? Because every time you talk about it, let's be honest, you are promoting it. You hate channels out there are promoting the view of the autopsy. Let's not lie to your audience. Let's not lie to your audience. You are promoting that autopsy. Oh, well, I'm just disgusted with Zab Girl. No, you're promoting the autopsy. If you weren't promoting the autopsy, each and every one of you would have made community posts and it would have been done. But no, you need your 15 minutes of shame. You need your 15 minutes of shame. And you need your clicks and views. And you need your monetary at the expense of somebody else. She put it behind a paid wall. Get over yourself. You don't want to watch it. Don't watch it. The people that want to watch it and be educated on it have the right to do so. And you have no right to tell those people what they can and cannot do. I'm sorry. I'm a stickler when it comes to crap like that, whether it's to the detriment of me or not. I will fall on a sword when it comes to liberties. Because each and every one of us have liberties. And I'm not living for anybody else. I'll be damned if I'm living for anybody else. So that's the real causation of the problems and the muddiness of the waters here on the streets of YouTube, because people are competing and they get more salacious and more conspiracy theorists, and they have to compete harder. And then when the truth comes out, it's all a lie, and their idiot audience stick with them through even more lies. I'd rather be unpopular back here and be proven right when we get to the finish line than to be popular back here and to be made out to be a fool when I get to a finish line. That's the difference between me and my channel. That's why we're successful and why we grow. I haven't been out in the field this year. Very limited. I think I covered, how many cases did I cover? I think I covered Magdalena Kojakari and Alec Murdaugh. Because last year we were out there with Koberger. But this year we've only covered two minor cases. And I get my audience from being in the field. Smith's case is still very much unsolved. His body was exhumed and a second autopsy was conducted in April, and a homicide investigation remains open. She now focused primarily on true crime, her true crime YouTube channel. Callie Lyons, a journalist, author, stain-resistant, non-stick, waterproof, lethal, The Hidden Danger of C8. The respected true crime researcher knows Nestor, the ex-true crime sleuth, and worked for a while in the Murdaugh Murder podcast. Citizen sleuths do have the power to bring a subject to the public's attention, Lyon told the Post. They can add real value, but they often don't know what they're getting into, and the harm they may be doing is not always apparent. Like sending crackheads to a 20-month-old's front lawn. How did that add value? But they often don't know what they're getting themselves into, and the harm that they're doing not always apparent. If you get too close to the victims' families, it can be a problem. What have I always said here on this channel? I never get close to suspects. I never get too close to families because I don't want to lose my objectivity. And all these people that you guys want to run to that have this great relationship with, say, Don Wells, you have lost your perspective. That's Pam and Allie's problem. When they were out there with Don Wells and Candace, and their hearts are just bleeding because now they're friends with them, you can't be objective at that point. You just killed your commentary. Nobody is going to respect you because you're too close. And I try telling people that all the time. And the people that have been with me for a really long time know. I always say you cannot get close to the families. You cannot get close to the suspects. You need to keep that arm's length distance from them in order to be truly objective. So every time you go to these channels that are buddy-buddy with the criminals, buddy-buddy with the victim's family, you just lost all your perspective. Do we want those interviews? Yes, we want those interviews. But to be friends with them? No. Because you've lost your objectivity. You can no longer, you now have sympathy. You watched Allie go, she literally sympathizes with Candace, a woman that has treated every single one of her children like garbage. Didn't feed them or clothe them. They were filthy, living with roaches and stuff. And Allie has lost all common sense to be friends and advocate for a woman that has done such despicable things to children. She lost all objectivity. And they still can't understand why they're a failing channel. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. Most insane thing I've ever seen. And of course, it comes back to Brian Koberger and this whole demolition of 1122 King Road, which was one of those comments that I talked about, how people make themselves look like a complete and utter idiot. And this was one of the comments that was there was a comment in my on one of my posts saying, oh, it was my post for the mailing campaign, and they're like, it's not up to the university. You're so stupid. It's not up to the university. They don't even have the deed. It's up to the owner of the house. You should really follow the case. I'm like, you are such an idiot. You're not following the case because this house was signed over to the university literally months ago. Months ago. Hold on. Objective. First of all, SoFlo Mama, let me go through here because I'm going to tell you, I hear snide remarks coming from you. And this is my issue. Now, if you would like to, I'll open the phone lines up because it sounds like to me you have some issues with me. And if that's the case, let's go ahead and address them right now so we can get this thing done and over with, because you're going to either decide whether to be on this channel or be off this channel by the conversation I have with you. And I'm going to tell you that because I do not like, one thing I find very highly offensive is I don't know you. And for you to act like you know me and know Olivia and know conversations, you do not. And you will not spread misinformation on my channel. You won't. And you're not going to act like you know me. You're not going to act like you know my life. You're not going to act like you know my conversations I have with people that I have them with. That you're not going to do. Now, if you want to be respectful, I'm happy to be. But when you start stepping on my toes and pissing me off, I will kick you off this platform and you can go somewhere else. And if you have a problem with that, it's not my problem. So let's get this corrected really, really quick. You've been here for a really long time. I don't know where the animosity has came between me and you, but if this is going to be where it is, then don't come back here. It's that simple. It really is. But don't think I don't see your comments just because I'm not addressing them. And it's not just this, SoFlo Mama. It's not just this one. Let's be honest. You come here every single day and have snide remarks in this chat, do you not? I'm calm. I'm absolutely calm. What do you mean you need to calm down? I haven't raised my voice one time. So I think what you need to do is you need to email me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, because after today, if this is the way it's going to continue to be with you, I'm just going to block you off this chat. I'm just going to let you know that right now. But I hope that you reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com and we'll get it discussed. But I'm not going to sit here every single day and listen to this because I actually liked you. And I keep watching all your snide comments in here and I don't have to put up with it. And neither does my audience. So just FYI. And if I'm wrong about it, then send me the screenshots and I apologize. But telling me to calm down when I'm being calm, I think is says enough about you. So anyways, this is the this is related to the whole taking of the house. So we're actually working right now on the one letter, one envelope, and one stamp. And this is what it's about. And we're wanting to let the university know that we stand behind the family. No, I were screaming. No, I were screaming at me, actually. Well, you know, I see some of your comments. So I'll go back and check it. And if I owe you an apology, SoFlo Ma, I will make sure you get it. But I'm just saying that I've been watching some of the comments you've been making in this chat for well over 2 weeks, and I'm not liking them. And if you're so if you're so unhappy here, nobody's forcing you to be here. That's all I'm saying. It's pretty simple, you know. But I don't want you being anywhere that you don't feel welcomed or you're upset with me. It's a waste of time, and your life is your time is valuable. And I'd rather you be a happy person on a Tuesday than an upset, angry person on a Tuesday. Well, why don't we just say that maybe this isn't the channel for you, and maybe just you go back to Queen Bee and stay off my channel. Maybe that would be the best. Just saying. I mean, since you're so unhappy here. So she has you blocked, Allie? Okay, well then she can be blocked. All right, I'm done. I'm done arguing with her. You can watch in silence. You can watch in silence. I gave you the benefit of the doubt and you want to argue with me. Stupid decision. And trust me, I know you now, Soflo Mama. I will never unblock you. I will never unblock you. So move on.